everyone, and welcome. It is Friday, and that means it's time for Muppin Sewing Emporium. How are you doing today? I am wonderfully well, thank you. It is hot and gross here in beautiful downtown Paducah, Kentucky. Beautiful, muggy, awful, humid nastiness going on here in the Midwest, and we are miserable. And I have to tell you that I am doing my part to not continue to heat up the rest of the house, or the building, I should say. I have spent all day, and I mean all day, working on a our air conditioner unit, and it has been a struggle with the air conditioner unit right now. It's like not keeping up. And so what I've had to do is bring in a portable air conditioner, and it yeah, it's we're doing that thing. I'm telling you. It is so hot, so gross. I am sitting here in the dark. And so if you're out there and you can hear me, give me a thumbs up, say hello. If you're out there, I would love to see who is watching tonight. My good friends. So a few things, a couple things to bring up, talk about for next week. Next week, we are going to be in Virginia. We will be attending and vending at the Road to Virginia Quilt Show, and that is at the Greater Richmond Convention Center in Richmond, Virginia. And I am very excited to kind of return to the East Coast, which I have to admit I have not been back in some time. And so we will be closed next week. So anything that you order between now and the 30th will ship on the 30th. So just so that you keep that in mind, I also, like I said, it is just so gross and hot out right now, and it's just become like a I don't know, it's like a boiling sauna out there. It's really bad. So today we had all sorts of wonderful people. We have a quilt retreat in town. We have lots of visitors. We've had visitors from Indiana and Texas and Arkansas and all kinds of places. So welcome all of you to Paducah. Paducah, Kentucky, Quilt City, USA. I did want to show you some of the things that we got restocked because so many of you, I bring in these things as a test, and then I bring them in, and you guys buy them all out, which is fantastic. And so then I have to go ahead and replenish, which is, again, not a problem. But sometimes those restocks take me a little bit longer than I had anticipated, and that was the case with these particular ones. And so I'm going to just bring these onto the screen here. La la la. Like I said, I'm sitting here in the dark. Even Mr. Spooky is not turned on today. All because it is just so nasty outside. Just so gross. And so let's see here. I'm just going to double check that we have sound because, of course, I always start these things and then never check. So, oh yeah. Yeah. Oh, I am talking. All right. So again, if you're out there, say hello, give me a thumbs up. Um, we've got restocks. Okay, let's talk about these because we had these blow out during when we brought them in last time. You guys really, really, really liked these, and that makes me so happy. These are what I consider these are half jelly rolls. So a jelly roll is typically like 40 or 42 strips. These are Japanese wovens, and they are 20 20 strips, and so they're like half of a jelly roll. And for the price, I think they're really, really amazing for the price. And a typical jelly roll is about 48 to $50. These are 27, and that's a price for being imported from Japan. So really, really, really economical. Jerry's here. Hello. That would just make them just a jelly. Yeah, they're like half a jelly roll. Is it like a jelly bun then? I don't know. They have different names for different widths, and then of course they love to name all this stuff after food. So they name them like things like jelly roll, uh there's a honey bun, layer cake, charm packs, things like that. And yeah, and so this one got named a jelly roll, I guess because of the swirl in it. I don't know. But these are 2.5 inch strips. Now we have the blue and the red, and again, these have these wonderful homespun colors. These make wonderful purses. They make wonderful jelly roll projects. So your table runners, things like that. Here is the blue colorway. It's got more of that blue and gray in it, and then just a tad bit of like the red with the blue, which is very cool. So these are two that we have just gotten restocked. And then we have the other collection, which again is Cosmo Textiles. And there are 23 strips in this collection. And these again are all wovens, all of these very homespun weaves in here. You can kind of see some sticking out there. These, there's two colorways. There's a green colorway and a rose colorway. And the green has, again, just those lovely different colors in there. I just love these. They're so pretty. And so $27 a roll, imported from Japan. And yeah, so we're pretty excited about these. And the current stock is up on our website. Just to remind you, we will be closed after tomorrow. We'll be closed for a whole week while we attend the Road to Virginia show. So we're going to any orders that come in, we're going to put aside, and you will get those when they will ship out when we come back. Okay, so another project that just came back in stock is the uh, Sashiko coaster kit. Now this has the pre-cut coasters. It has them already marked. It comes with a needle, and it comes with the Sashiko thread. And all you have to do is stitch over the marked lines, and you are good to go. These kits are $17. Comes with everything. And so this is a really cool way to try out your Sashiko. And then we have this Sashiko. It's a pre-printed cloth, and it has the marks already on it, and you can see the different designs in there. We also sell the thread that goes along with this. And I have to say, this particular pattern, I have been working on this one in my in front of the television for the past few weeks, and I just finished it the other day. And of course, I didn't bring it with me to the shop, but it's about 20 by 20. And what I love about this one is that the edges are already hemmed, and it is just ready to stitch. So it could not be easier to get started with this particular cloth. It's $36. Again, imported from Japan. All you do is just stitch over the pre-marked lines, and we have the jelly roll. We have the sashiko thread in stock as well, so you can find this on our website. Very, very excited about this. Laura is here. Hello, Laura. Welcome, welcome. Okay, so because it is hotter than you know what outside, it is gross. It's so gross outside. And I was trying very hard to, keep the temperature down in here, and I finally had to hook up my spare air conditioner. It's like a portable air conditioner. Mary, hello. Yes, it is super easy to start. It's a great project. I really do love it. Martha's here as well. Welcome from Texas. You are probably just as hot there as well. Mary and Jerry, I know you're both in Louisville. We're sending this nasty, nasty weather to you. It's gross. Thank you so much. I did break down and finally diet the other day. I'm going to this Virginia show, and I figured I better look my best. So I always like to give it a week to kind of stop staining everything. And so yeah, here I am. So I did my hair. I'm trying out a new mascara. I'm having a kind of a quiet day. We are in the upper 90s next week. Yes, gross. I will be glad. I will be in Virginia at the time, because bleh. Sonia, you're not late. You're here just right on time. I'm sitting in the dark. The only light I have is there's you can see it reflected in my glasses, like a ring light. And then I have some overhead lights that are they're on all the time. And I did not want to set up the full rig today because I will wilt. I will be staying inside. And we're at this convention center in Virginia next week, and it's supposed to be hot as blazes there as well. Good thing about these convention centers is they crank up the air conditioning to the point where you could hang meat. And I love that. So we will be having a very nice time next week in Virginia, but I couldn't stand it here. And I don't know if I ever told this story, but we had a problem with our air and our heat, and we called a commercial air person, because we've never had any residences in this building. This building has never had residences in it. And so when you put so it has commercial commercial property heating and air conditioning, HVAC. And so I sat here and I called a guy, and this young man came out and he said, I've never seen one of these in person. I guess that was how old the air conditioner unit is. He said he's never seen one in person. So that was awesome. So it's just so old it can't keep up with the temperatures anymore, and so I finally broke down and got myself a portable air conditioner unit, but it needs to vent to the outside. Yeah, like it's not a good thing when your when your HVAC guy says, I don't think I've ever seen one of these in person. so um that's just going to get added on to the construction when that finally starts, and it's just going to be um and so it just needs help. It's just too old. It can't keep up with this kind of weather. So, and we only need to do this like a couple of weeks a year. It really is just like hot as blazes, and it's the humidity more than anything. Otherwise, the building is very well insulated. The brick keeps the building somewhat cooler, and then we, have to deal with the heat, and the heat just it really does have nowhere to go in here. So I have a system. The air conditioner is blowing. It is putting some cold air out, but in here in the studio, I did not want to turn on all these lights and everything just to heat it all up, just to have to air condition it again. So you're gonna have to deal with like me is kind of pale washed out as normal. And then we're gonna do this thing. Okay, so we have a new panel, and oh my gosh, the humidity always, it's awful. Hello, Mariana, she's here. Welcome, welcome. And Heather, I heard, just warning, I heard that Virginia is going to be so hot, and move in and set up is going to suck. Blech. So anyway, thank you so much, Mary. It's the fat. It pushes out the wrinkles. And okay, so we have this new panel, and I can't wait to show this to you because I got this in, and I haven't been able to do anything with it. Plus, it's so hot out that I didn't really want to spend a whole lot of time, like, you know, sitting in front of a steamy sewing machine at the moment. So I'm going to show you the panel and we're gonna talk about it. Yeah, Heather, I'm so sorry. It's gonna stink, I know. But I will say Road to Virginia and Road to California, they turn the air conditioning. Yes, we can we will melt together. I did. And this, you're gonna love this new panel. I love it. It's so cute. So here's what it looks like. Oh, that's a terrible view. You're gonna see it in its full glory here in a second, but it is a book for the 250th anniversary of Jane Austen. So there's, I guess, like an official Jane Austen brand, the Jane Austen house, and they have officially licensed some Jane Austen panels and fabric. And once I saw this panel and what it makes, OMG. Okay, so here's the book that it makes. Okay, you can do this as a book. Laura, I know you and I are going to geek out over this like crazy because Laura and I are like super Bridgerton fans. Heather, yes, so cute. This is adorable. So adorable. Okay. So this is what it makes. Now, you could make this as a you can just cut the pages of the book out, and you could do this as blocks in a quilt. Okay, so don't get stuck on it being a book. If you like Jane Austen, if you like Regency, if you like Bridgerton, okay, Mariana, I love this too. Okay, so we're going to talk about this. Let's show this this bad boy. And you're going to see here, okay? I'm going to put me in the corner. Baby in the corner. Okay. So it is an ABC panel. Okay? It's A to Z. Oh, it's all wrinkly. I apologize. All right. Now, this is for the 250th anniversary for Jane Austen. It really would be a cute bag. It really would be a cute bag. Okay. So, it goes A to Z. And of course, the letters are all out of order because on a panel, it's got to make a book. Okay. So, you're going to go through some of these and you're just going to see, okay, you've got Z is Lizzie Bennet, okay, for Elizabeth Bennet from Pride and Prejudice. You've got Y for Young Ladies. Again, Bridgerton folks. You have A for Austen, for the Austen family. That's the family crest. You've got U for uniform. And I have to say, I am glad that they did not do this as like W for Mr. Wickham. I'm glad that they kept like certain characters, but not all of them. I like that it's not everybody. It would be adorable as you this let me even say like as like a a a, a bedroom little girl's room with the ABCs. Ugh, so cute. Okay, E is for embroidery, and you've got some hands with some embroidery on there. I'm so sorry, this is so wrinkly. We've got D for Fitzwilliam Darcy. So again, not too many specific characters, but I love that there are characters. You've got V for Village. And then you have like you have this some of them are doubled up. Okay, so like W and X are on the same panel, and so you have X for like X's and O's, kiss, and then you have the wedding, of course. And then you have B and C together for ball and carriage. And again, totally Regency Bridgerton vibes giving, here. You've got T service, F for flowers, G's for garden, S is for suitors, because of course. And I just love, I mean, the little guy, the characters are cute. Okay. They are looking so smart. And then you have R for Regency. H and I are on the same panel. You've got hats and invitation. Okay. Um, N and M, music and needlepoint. Of course, L for library. Um, and you've got, Pride and Prejudice and Sense and Sensibility and Northanger Abbey. I just love that they're all there. I do like that the characters like Mr. Darcy and Elizabeth are in lockets, right? It almost looks like they're like in the two halves of the same locket. Isn't that cool? So you also have K for knitting, uh O for orangery, and P for Pemberley, because I think Pemberley is one of those like most famous ones. And you do have Q for quilt, and of course J is for Jane Austen. So Marion is asking, does this become a quilt? It is a book. It is a little book, and so it creates this little foldable book. But you could take each of these and frame them, and I think there's a free pattern on the Riley Blake website for this as a quilt instead of a book. So you wouldn't have to do that. You wouldn't have to do it as a book. You could do it as a quilt. I do too. I think that this is just a clever it's a clever project, right? And when I saw it, I thought, you know, I don't see a lot of the soft books that I like, but if you're going to have a panel of Jane Austen, I would really hope that it would come with a as a soft book, right? Because it's Jane Austen. So I think that's cool that you have a soft book that turns into um yeah. So anyway, so this is what I was going to work on tonight. I do want to get this sample made, and I had one of the panels off of one of the bolts was actually miscut. It was the very last one on the bolt, and when I pulled it, I pulled it off, I realized like the end of the bolt or the end of the piece was cut at an angle, and it cut off like just a little bit of like one of the corners like down here. And so that one of course I can't sell. So I said, well, perfect, because I need to make a sample of this anyway. And I wanted to show you all just how easy some of this is. And so I was going to kind of go through the little process here. And yeah, so we're going to just take a look and see how this is going to go. So as you can see on the panel on the very right hand side are the instructions, and they're very easy to follow. You just need to cut apart the pages and of course put them in the right order. So that's what I was going to work on tonight. And we can just gab and sit quietly in the dark where I am trying not to turn on all the lights so I don't boil to death because it's so hot outside. Again, I find this little project to be just absolutely adorable. So yeah, I think it's really cute. So let's take a look here and see what we have to do with this. Of course, now at my my thing here is in the way of all of my controls. There we go. Okay, so pretty straightforward. It is just going to say, cut out all pieces along the outside of the solid cream border, and you're going to have an outer cover and page sets. And so here's essentially what it says you're going to need. You're going to need the panel. Duh. And you're going to need a couple of things as well. Marion, we have AC, but the unit is so old that the HVAC guy that I brought in, he said, I don't think I've ever seen one of these before. And so, yeah. Laura, have a wonderful night and see you soon. Bye. Sonia, I have muslin and fine quilting. I love that old-fashioned look. Yes, these would be very sweet. Again, you could also go crazy with do I need two? You might, if you like Bridgerton, and I am a Bridgerton babe. I this is my jam. So yeah, I know. What can I say, Marion? It's gonna be a hot couple. It's gonna, well, and we're gonna miss most of the heat, so that is good. Okay, so a couple things on this is they are recommending that you use a thin piece of batting for just the cover. And then the interior pages, you're just using a medium weight interfacing. So you don't have to do a whole lot here. It doesn't take a whole lot. It doesn't say that you need a sewing machine, but you might want to have your sewing machine. Oh, yes, Bridgerton. I am part of a group online, and we just love Bridgerton like crazy. Okay. So essentially, the first step is going to be to cut. And I knew that that was going to take me the longest. So that's what we're here to do today, is just to start cutting the pages. Now, it does have page numbers, so it's easy for you to assemble this as a page in a book. But if you cut that, that is within the seam allowance. So if you don't want to make this into a book, you can see that it's like within the 1/4 inch seam allowance, and you'll never see the book pages numbers, which is great because then you can just cut them however which way you like. So it is very light to see the difference in the color, but that is the cover, and then that little area there is what we're cutting against to make your book pages. So what I like to do is I try to get the bulk of everything out of the way, and I do one page at a time. And I like to cut with shears. Okay. Most people might want to rotary cut, or if they feel very confident, they can get a ruler and they can rotary cut. I don't feel like doing that, but I also don't typically do that with my my panels. I typically cut with shears, and this is also how I make sure that I am staying within my seam allowance here. And I think it's time for me to get these shears sharpened, but they're doing a pretty good job. There's like a part here high up that I think needs either to be tightened and or to be sharpened. And I've been looking at doing a sharpening event in the store, but yeah, I don't know. We don't have a lot of local customers. We have mostly um, tourist customer. And so if I did like local events like that, I'd have to like advertise it really well in advance. So if you were to come from out of state or from farther away, that would give you, you know, time to get here. But then how would I get you your scissors back unless the guy was basically doing it on site? And so that's something to think about. You know, but always having a good pair of shears is important. And with this one, I'm going to cut um, the whole page out, even though the rest of this, you know, is just excess, and of course the selvage edge. But I want to make this. I'm going to do it as a book initially. Um, you know, a soft book, and then that way, that's easier for me to display in the store. And so I'm going to do it that way. Um, but I also, what I need to do is get all that excess out of the way. Now, here's when having a good pair of shears is you can set them down on your table and do the cutting. I love the sound of shears. I don't know what it is, but they always make me happy, right? That like sharp. It's like the people that do the ASMR. I'm not one of those people that gets has the ASMR sound thing. I only some of it triggers me, not all of it. Okay, so here's page, or this is the cover, I should say. Okay, and then what would happen is this would go like so, and this would be the front, this would be the back. Obviously, there would be a seam allowance, you know, along the edges here, and 250 years of Jane Austen. So, yeah, I, the sound is just kind of a thing. I don't know. I just like it. Um, you know, it is what it is. All right, so then we have the interior of the front cover, which is this page here. And so I'm going to, like I say, I try to make sure I'm going to show you a bigger view here. What you have is you want to get all of this bulk like out of your way, and you don't want any of this stuff to be accidentally under here, because ask me how I know when you have that accidentally under there and you start cutting, and the next thing you know, you're slicing into your project. um Again, from experience here, okay, but not my finest moments, but you know, there you go. So I like to, when I cut, notice that I'm not like chopping away at this, when you are cutting on with shears, right? The goal is to have your table, okay? The shear is on the table, and there's that little spot there, okay, that underneath spot right here. That's where your finger goes to help guide it. But the bottom of the shear is also on the table. And when you cut, you are gliding along, and you're not doing that. You don't want that chopping motion, because then you will get those zigzag things that happen in your fabric. Okay, and so you're just gliding, and then you move the scissor to the spot where you just ended. And notice I'm not cutting fast. It's not, you don't have to, like, this is a project, or these are kinds of things that you want to do when you have, like, the time to carefully cut them out. This is true about Mr. Boney and all of those other things, because, if you cut too quickly, you're going to make a mistake, and you're going to have that choppy edge, and then you're going to be like, why isn't it going together well? Because you've got raggedy edges. I just like to take my time with it, and this is a project that is good to have a good cutting table for. And see, like right here, I can lift it. I love that sound. And like it's like getting warm in here, because the computer that I use, like the computer here, is just pumping out like hot air. So here is pages, the cover, and the first and last pages. So you've got the page 1, says right there, page 22. This is a big soft book, okay? And so you've got a place here to write a name if you're going to give this as a gift. And so there would be pages 1 and 2. So to sew this together, okay, what you do is you put them right sides together. And I typically put the batting, because this one will require batting. The cover requires the batting. I would put the batting in now on the top, okay, and just pin well. And then I will sew it from the opposite side, okay? And what I will do is leave yourself an opening down here. And when you go around, then you have a place to flip it right side out. So that's how you get the perfect edges that the book shows. Okay. That's how you get that perfect seam there at the edge. And it's all just in having that little opening here to flip it right side out. If you wanted to, you could then stitch like just inside of the border. That would be just easy. Would I serge the line? No, you can use this is your regular sewing machine. You're going to use a 3/8 inch of a stitch because that is what is called for on the panel. So they want you to use a little bit of a wider stitch and not a 1/4 inch. So that's something to keep in mind. So I would have normally um, heated up my iron and pressed all of these first before I go and sew them. So just FYI. And I would typically do that, but I will say that I'm not going to do that because it's boiling outside. It's absolutely nonsense. I think it's like now that the sun is going down, it's in the 80s. But in the full sun today, it was over 100, and it was gross. And poor customers were coming in, and they were wilting. And I felt like it was just as humid outside as it was in here. Ugh. And I couldn't take it. So to the rescue came my uh my air conditioner, my secondary air conditioner. Okay, and then it's just a matter of cutting out the individual pages. There are a lot of them. Okay, but I will say, like, as blocks go, they're pretty nice sized. Let's see if I just measure one. It would be probably 5 by 8, which is pretty good. That's a pretty nice size. So again, with some beautiful borders, just yummy, yummy. Um, I just think this is a lovely panel, and again, I look for these kinds of things that are just like not your typical baby book. Although I do bring in cute baby stuff when I can find it. And there's a couple of panels coming in July that are so adorable. It absolutely, Marion, if you knew someone who was like, a English major, someone who just really loves Bridgerton, this is your jam, because I don't know anybody that doesn't love Bridgerton that also doesn't love the Pride and Prejudice movie, the one with Keira Knightley, and she's that to me with Matthew McFadden as Mr. Darcy. Like, that's my Mr. Darcy. I know other people that are like, my Mr. Darcy is Colin Firth, and he's my Mr. Darcy. My Mr. Darcy is Matthew McFadden. And I don't know if you watch a lot of TV. I watch a fair amount of TV shows, or at least I put them on in the background. And yeah, this exactly. A friend who taught English at college, she would love it. 100%. Anyone who teaches English literature, there's no question that this whole Regency period has like generated a lot of novels and authors and just general fiction in like Bridgerton, which is not, which is kind of, I don't know. I just love it. And I love Bridgerton for the costumes. And yes, I know that the fabrics are not period correct, nor do I care. Normally, I'm the one that's like, the costumes got to be on point, and I no longer care with that one. I just did not. I just don't care. It's really, really nice. So you've got village and wedding and carriages and balls and tea, all the things you want from a Regency era quilt, but also Jane Austen. I just think this is, I mean, when this came in, I was so tickled because it really, we order it from a picture that's about that big. And I know this is bigger on your screen than it is on mine, but that's all we have to go off of. We don't know if it's cute. We hope it's cute. We think it looks kind of cute, but the picture's usually like this big in a magazine. So, it's really hard to order fabric and make it good. And have a good one. But we have some stuff coming in July. OMG, so cute. If you are one of my panel friends, you're gonna be in heaven with one of these panels. It's the it's so adorable. And it's the kind of thing that if I designed panels that I would make. I told you that if I could design panels, I would. Like, I just think someone should just have me ghost design panels for fabric collections. I would love that job. I don't want to do the art, okay? I'm not that good. I'm a decent artist, but not that good. And I just think it would be the bee's knees to be a panel designer. We've got some really cute stuff in the panel section, so go ahead and take a look. We've got an 80s reproduction advent calendar. We've got just some really adorable things. So, this one is new. It is the Jane Austen Riley Blake book panel, and I'm just really Sonia, you're gonna do the art. Oh, let's make panels. Done. Let's do it. I love it. I just get to a point where I don't want to make the I just want to do the idea. Yes, exactly. They draw it. I tell you how it's gonna put together. That's where I'm good. That's let's do that. Um and who knows, right? Like crazier things have happened, as I like to say. But yeah, it's just gonna be so next week we are not in the store. Don't come here and expecting Muppins to be open, because we will not be. We are going to the Road to Virginia show, and we will be away. And we're taking Max with us, and he wants to work. And he's been working very hard in the store. He'll be here tomorrow. Yes. Yes. Mary. Oh, yes. Oh, among other things. Alphabet of dragons. Like all the named dragons from fiction. Right? You would have Game of Thrones dragons, and you could have all those. That would be so great. I am so here for this. Yes. Martha, thank you so much. We are going to have a good time, I think. Max is very excited to come to go to Virginia. It's a state he's never been to before. He's also old enough for us to do the Washington D.C. kind of things. Although he's not necessarily the kind of kid that is interested in seeing like the America stuff. I did that when I was between 8th grade and high school. My dad took us to Washington, D.C. I think it would be cool to just like walk around the National Mall at least, see the things. But he is 13 and doesn't care about that stuff. So I just think um, I would like to swing through Maryland and visit Gettysburg on the way home. So that's the only thing that I have planned is to go to Gettysburg on the drive home. He is not going to be thrilled about that. But we got to get some history in there where we can while we're on the East Coast, because I lived there for 10 years. So he's going to have to just suck it up and be part of, uh, you know, that stuff. Isn't this the greatest? It's just so great. I just love it. Um, you know, Here's the thing, Marion. He lives near Kennedy, uh, uh, Cape Canaveral. So he has zero interest in the space program, because it just the schools take them there. They see all the SpaceX launches. It happens all the time. It's like a Florida kid. He just doesn't, he doesn't care about it. And I tried. Gwen, I agree. I feel like you just got to take him there, and you know, it's kind of how I did it when I was a kid. I didn't think about it at the time, but after I grew up, I was glad that my parents had done that for me. Does that make sense? Because I think that that's he may not appreciate it now, but we're going to go. We'll get some pictures. Oh, yeah. Like Marion, he is 13 going on 30. um, Full of all kinds of new phrases. Um, he's definitely in his bro stage. He Everybody is bro. I'm bro. Dad's bro. Hey bro. Everybody's bro. Yeah, it's interesting. This age is interesting. So, but that said, I'm going to go. My friends, I hope you have a wonderful weekend. I hope you get some sewing done. If you do order from us, and it's during next week, please be patient. It will come out. We'll be back on the 30th, and we will ship your orders then. But in the meantime, please have a wonderful and safe week. Hope to see you not next Friday, but the Friday after. There you go. You are in, yes. So when you see it, you'll enjoy it. I agree. Please have a wonderful week. I hope you get some sewing done. Take care of yourselves. Thank you, Sonia. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. I'll see all of you in